Hello and welcome to Mixologist, the place on the internet thingy where new things are tried all the time. Case in point, this unit here, which is a Weber 40 DFAV 1. So this is a carb that we've never done on the channel or in real life either. What we're going to do on this episode is do it something a little bit different than what we do normally, in the sense that what I'm going to do this time is to do something. Instead of a restoration, I'm going to call it a roadstoration. So because what I'm going to do is I'm going to obviously show you in a bit closer, what's the condition of the carb and whatnot. But what I want to achieve in this particular project is to get this carb to run again, work again as best as possible, but it's not going to be 100% restored. So the idea is to get what's here, get it good again, clean it up, make it the best possible we can, but then that is going to be what's gonna, let's say, go on sale and what's gonna go out to the customer. So let me show you a little bit closer what we're working with. This is a 40 DFAV. As you can see, the throttle plates, they open like so with this orientation, rather than if you had a DCNF, it would go like this, longitudinal ways, and this goes sideways. And they've got this little kind of cam mechanism that basically makes them working in unison. It might be just a little worn out, so we might have to replace those. We'll see in a minute. And then obviously you've got your idle mixture screws here. You've got your accelerator pump here that works off one of those, and essentially then it's the rest of this carb looks to me that it's pretty complete. However, obviously we need to just tear it apart and make sure that all the pieces are there. But one thing that I need to show, and why am I gonna call it a roadstoration rather than a full-on restoration? Well, it's because of here. Now, obviously, as you can see, the choke flap is completely missing. This hasn't got a choke, and actually I'm not intending to put a choke on this unit. So this carb came to me without a choke, and it's gonna go out to the customer without one either. Yeah, so and therefore you can see that the choke mechanism would have mounted like here, with this as your passage to connect the vacuum, some sort of vacuum source for the choke. Well, obviously this has been completely eliminated. It didn't come with the unit, so therefore it's not here. And that's why what I need to do is I need to find out. I can't find out why, but this is going to be a carb for like a more of a kind of racer type thing, no choke, because the problem is that the chasing up so many parts here is going to add to the cost. The cost is going to be astronomical, and also my time. This is going to be a slightly different build, because what we're going to do is we're going to try and get this to be as good and nice as possible in order to get it to work again. And that is the whole thing that we want to do in this for this build. So let's start digging into this unit. Let's start trying to disassemble it, and see what we're working with, what's the condition inside, especially inside here in the accelerator pump. Again, I don't know, I haven't opened it, so that's going to be a bit of a mystery. So far things are not looking too bad. So we got a few issues. I'm going to show you kind of a bit closer now what I mean. But actually it's kind of what should be expected for a carb that is coming to a shop, you know, to be rebuilt. So let me bring a bit closer. Okay, so something that is obviously quite common, you know, for a carb that is coming to rebuild is having some sort of dirt on the bottom of the fuel bowl. And in the case of this particular carb, what we see is this sort of residue in the in some of the components. So you can see here this main jet basically is like completely stopped there. And you can see it also in the idle jets that it's quite it's got this kind of residue here, and obviously the passages in those passages there as well. So obviously that would need to be that would require some attention. The throttle plates are kind of okay. I think one of the things we might have to do here, we might have to do a little bit of a kind of modification here, kind of try to kind of thin them down. Well, one of the things that I didn't show is that this throttle plates came with a hole in it. It's a very small hole actually, so they might be okay like that. And obviously the person that buys this car probably won't have a standard cam in the car, so as long as you have a slightly, you know, peppier cam should be fine. But I mean the top cover is okay. It needs the kind of the press in for the fuel inlet, so that's something that should be there. A weird thing that happened was that when I took it off, this thing had 2 gaskets. Like, I think that's a little bit weird, but anyway. So what we need to do now is start the kind of cleaning process. It's quite a bit, kind of a few days later. I've been unable to do as much work as I would have liked to, but I got to a stage now where I'm ready to set, where I've already set the throttles. But what I want to do now, in this particular build, there's been an insane amount of detail that's gone into setting up the throttles and how I'm doing it and the reasons for it. So let's come a bit closer. As you can see, I've got the throttle plates just set up kind of around here, and one of the things that first of all, you probably won't be able to notice, but even though these shafts look like if they were from the factory because they've been chemically blackened, I've done quite a bit of subtle work to them, in the sense that if you see here, these shafts used to be round here, so they used to have like a hump here, and I've eliminated that. I kind of filed it away on both sides. Not only that, but you also have to be really careful in here, because you need to get them exactly to be the same on those two sides, because sometimes, especially if you've got a divided plenum in the inlet manifold, you need both sides of the carb to flow exactly the same. If not, one side of the engine might be getting more fluid, more flow than the other one. So that is why it's very important. The other important detail, the throttle screws, sorry. So let me show you. So this is the original one that came with the carb. Yeah, you can see it there, and this is the one I am putting in here. So you can see it has a different shape, and let me put them side by side like so. Let's see if you can see them there. Yeah, so this one is much smaller in size, so therefore when you put them inside here, they present much less of a restriction to airflow. And actually, let's try and put it on this, which is a Holley Holley plate, because the way the engine is gonna see this carburetor is, let me shine a light there. It's like that. So this is what the engine will see. So as you can see now, what I've created is a situation where the flow is slightly biased towards this end, like that and like that. Once you do this, what you're creating is a situation where the flow is a bit biased towards here, and I think that is going to help the manifold, the flow of air of the manifold in this side and this side. So that's kind of a little bit of kind of detail that's important when building this. And also the other thing is you have to, the kit always comes with this kind of PTFE bushing that you need to install, and it's relatively easy to install in all of these, but as you can see, you've got new bushings here, new bushing here, and obviously around here, but you can see them. And I did a little kind of fabric washer there just to keep it tight over there, so it doesn't leak air. And as well, I've done, it didn't come with this, but I've done a rubber O-ring on the idle circuit, just in case, who knows. But because other weather carbs have this, so I thought might as well. So this is kind of all of the detailed work that was done on the throttles. Now what I'm going to do is I need to put the springs and build up the rest, and I'll show you kind of how that works. Okay, so as you can see here, I've installed the springs, and now what we've got is every kind of throttle plate with its own return spring, like that. So now what I need to do is I need to put this kind of linkage mechanism with the throttle. Alright, so here's the finished article. So you can see, there we go, and they both open the same amount, which is good. So this is all tight and it returns, which is what you want to do. So this is ready. Obviously I've done a few bits and bobs more. I put the jets, the air correctors, the emulsion tubes, the accelerator pump, and the accelerator pump assembly with obviously a brand new diaphragm, which you need. So yeah, this unit is really coming on together, and now the only thing I need to do is I need to kind of do the top bit, and that's it. This will be ready to slam on, and yeah, the other thing I need to do is to put this in, so I've got a nice linkage to it. But other than that, I think we're ready to go. Okay, we're getting to the end of the episode now. I'm going to show you a bit kind of closer what's the kind of final condition of the unit. But just to recap, I think in this particular case we've achieved what we set out to achieve, which was not a kind of full restoration of this unit. That was never kind of in the cards because it had some issues. The chokes they were missing, so no choke. But, however, having said that, kind of absolutely everything else is in good condition to function. You just kind of put it in the car, put some fuel, and this unit should go perfectly well. So let me show you a bit closer. As you can see, we've got now the throttle action. That's the sort of throttle action you're looking for. And then obviously I've got a brand new kind of needle and seat assembly, fuel fitting, and yes, the carb did have kind of a couple of issues in here. Obviously no choke, as I said, and this cover is missing. Cover that should go like so. But however, having said that, will any of that affect the fact that the carb is not going to work? Of course not. The carb is going to work absolutely fine, and this is why I'm calling this a roadstoration. So therefore, I want to say thank you very much for watching this episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next week for more content.